Today's topic, project manage your life. Hi, I'm Doug Holt, author of Your Own Story, and this is your Daily Growth Hack, where each day we give you a tip, trick, or insight to help you up-level what we call the 5 to Thrive. That is your mind, your body, your soul, your relationships, and your business. Today I was doing employee interviews where I actually talked to my employees about how they're doing in the business. Now what I have them do is fill out a kind of a long form where they're doing check boxes. Am I doing very good, good, or needs improvement, or not necessary in this particular category for many lists that are on there. And then I have a lot of questions. And of course, if you listen to any of these daily growth hacks, you could probably imagine I go way beyond just business to really know what's going on in my staff and my team's lives. What came up in this last interview that I had was really a lack of focus and a lack of determination or timing. This person was procrastinating to the last minute to get things done. And kudos to them for being honest. They were honest with their boss and open with me about the idea that they were actually always waiting to the last minute and sometimes even forgetting to check which tasks had certain due dates on them. And so as we started having this conversation, what came up was they were actually doing this in other areas of their lives as well, right? I mean, how many times do we forget, to go to the grocery store for our loved one or different things that we just need to do on a daily basis? Or have you been like me where you've made a list of like, hey, if I get these things done on a regular, consistent basis, my relationship is going to go through the roof. My body is going to go through the roof. My mind's going to go, just where I want it to go. It's going to expand in ways that you can never probably even imagine. And what about your business? Oh my gosh, are there certain things that you need to do on a daily basis, maybe a weekly basis, that if you did consistently would just grow your business exponentially? Well, I know for me, this is certainly true. And these are in all areas. And I'm going to admit that I'm kind of a typical guy. And so what I've had to do is actually set reminders in my project management software for even areas in my relationships. And so this is what I recommended this particular person to do. And it's exactly what I do. Is I actually use a project management software system for my life. Now, if you're in the Author of Your Own Story group, and especially if you're an Author of Your Own Story University, we actually have a systemized process that we use extremely successfully where you can actually project manage your story. So what it allows you to do is really make sure you're getting those little things done, hitting those singles to drive runs in, so to speak, in your life and allowing you to become more of the author of your own story. And oftentimes we have these unconscious roadblocks that are holding us back. And what we want to do is identify those. Now, once we've identified those, what do we need to do to take that to the next level and create a habit? Now, of course, you've got, discipline, right? Discipline is one of those buzzwords that goes around a lot. And you're hearing it a lot right now in the business and personal development industries. I'm hearing it on podcasts and people speaking when I attend seminars. But my experience is disciplined people are disciplined. And there's the rest of us. And what do the rest of us do? Well, we create habits. And we create habits and systems of checks and balances that allows us to become disciplined. So what I did many, many years ago is I got a project management software system and I made a list of those things that I need to do regularly. One of them is check in with my wife, right? Sounds brainless. Of course you just check in with your wife, Doug. But it wasn't for me. I would forget. I would get caught up in the day-to-day, growing my businesses, spending time with her, but I forgot to say certain things. I forgot to check in with her in the way that meant something to her. Speak her language. So what I did is I put that on my project management system. Give my wife a compliment and tell her I love her each day. So every day when I go into my project management system, I have my list of tasks. One of them is to give my wife a compliment. And each time I do, she looks so surprised and it really takes her back because I know that speaks to her love language. And once I figure that out, it's just something I do. Now, this is not my natural love language, so I need a reminder. And it's become a habit. It's become something that I don't need to be reminded of anymore. But at the beginning, honestly, I did. I'm certainly not perfect, and that's what led me on this quest of personal development and business development was to get better. And so just like you, there's certain things that you're probably forgetting in the areas of your mind, body, soul, relationships, and business. And what are those little things you're forgetting? And what are those little things that really move the needle in those areas? Maybe for your mind, it's simply reading an hour a day. And maybe it's just not on the top of your mind because you're not a big reader. And many of us aren't. right? But maybe that's for you. And so maybe you need to set a reminder to check off. And so something else you want to look at with the project management software is what are those tasks that are weeks or months overdue that you're just not getting to? Then you can ask yourself why. Now, I can't get into the nuts and bolts on exactly how I set this up here because these daily growth hacks are meant to be short and to the point. But if you're the author of Your Own Story University, we go through this in depth to actually lay out your story and your plan so you can get around this. Now, of course, you could do this with your own. You can use Teamwork, you can use Asana, you can use Basecamp. There's tons of project management software out there. The important thing is that you actually start it. Fill out your tasks, your dailies, your weeklies, your monthlies, your quarterlies, those little things that you get to do. And for my employee, one was check daily the project management. Have it notify you, have it send it to your phone and email you. Number 2 for him was actually set focused goals. I wanted him to get feedback from the rest of the team on a monthly basis. So what I had him do, set a monthly reminder on your project management software to ask for feedback from the rest of the team. Now, this wasn't something that occurred to him naturally. It wasn't something he would naturally do or probably felt comfortable doing. But now it's a task. Now it's a task that goal-oriented people are going to see and go, shoot, this is something I need to do. Check it off. And if you see it going to the red or the overdue, what you want to do is ask yourself, why am I avoiding doing this? Why am I not doing these things? Now, it could be working out for you. Why are you not working out? Why has it been 2 weeks? What is the fear behind it? It's not knowledge. You know how to work out. Maybe you don't do it as well, or you don't know how to do a clean and jerk or whatever, but you know how to put on shoes and go for a run or walk. So there are things like that. And if you do have limiting factors, like don't have a facility to go to, well, those are things you can solve. And so really the key here is adding these items to your project management. Now, here's what I want you to do right now. Grab your journal, write out your 5 to thrive, your mind, your body, your soul, your relationships, and your business. And what I want you to list are the 2 things that if you do them consistently would actually move the needle towards your goals, to you becoming the author of your own story. Now, once you've done that, now you've got to find a way to keep yourself accountable. Now, a project management software system is an easy way of doing it. And many have free trials above and beyond just one project. You can usually have 2 to 5. So you can actually have 5 to thrive. You can have categories for all of these, or you can use your life as one particular project. And that's how I started off when I was doing it. And so what I want you to do then is set the dates and times those are due. Are they due every Monday? Are they due every day? Are they due monthly? And I want you to monitor how you're doing with this project management. How are you actually staying on top of it? And which items are you letting fall by the wayside? And then what I want you to do, once you've got that, set on your project management software 1 month from today, 1 month to come back to it and actually revisit this and see which items are in red. Which items have you let go by the wayside? And then the next part of your journaling activity is to actually sit down and figure out why. Because once you figure out why, you can start reprogramming your brain, the software inside that allows you to take it to the next level. Finding out what those barriers are, those unconscious barriers that prevent us from actually doing those things we know we should be doing. Finding those out and creating systems of overcoming those is a key step to becoming the author of your own story. That's it for me today. Go over to authorofyourownstory.com. Get on our email list right now. That's the only way you're going to get tips, tricks, and insights delivered right to your inbox, as well as insights. We just interviewed Chris Tarzan Clemens. It's only going to be up live for 2 days. After that, it's only going to be accessible to the Author of Your Own Story University members in its entirety. We will give you a chunk of it, but in its entirety will only be there. And Chris shares his secrets to his success and what allowed him to truly live life on his own terms. If you're not on the email list, you're just not going to know about it and you're not going to get it. And even worse, you're not going to be able to attend. And these little nuggets of information from people that have been going through this will help you, again, take time and compress it. Take 5 years of Chris's mistakes and compress those and allow you to leapfrog them. And that's what I want for you. I don't want you to go through the hardships that many of us have done to become the authors of our own story, and I want you to take it to the next level. And of course, share this with a loved one. This is a great tip. Find out what they think about it. I would love for you to have that conversation. I don't get anything out of these other than sharing little tips with you. So I hope you can share it with other people and grow conversations that matter. That's it for me. Go out and be the author of your own story. I hope you enjoyed today's Daily Growth Hacks. Please put your comments right down below and remember to click subscribe. This way we can ensure that we're delivering these daily growth hacks right to you each and every day. On behalf of the whole team here, remember, go out and be the author of your own story.